Nacimiento Regional Water Management Advisory Committee filed a complaint this week. The group says the Monterey County Water Resources Agency mismanaged the lake and drained so much water that it's unusable.
Lake Nacimiento once offered views of tree-lined shores, but that water line has dropped far below where it once was.
The complaint asks for at least $120 million in damages. It also asks to stop the county from releasing so much water. Now, back in March, the county said the purpose of the water release was conservation and said they're required to do so.
My name is Randy Gillenwater, and I've actually built the house that I'm living in now in 1987. I had been on the board 12 of the last 14 years, and probably 8 of those I was the president.
My name is Mark Baker. I'm a code enforcement officer at Oak Shores Community Association.
I asked Randy to explain the contract between Monterey County and Oak Shores Residency.
Monterey County owns the dam, and Water Resources runs it, and they have control on the water. But there are stipulations that are put on them by the flood control districts of how much water they can have. Something that was pretty much agreed to back in the 50s. It was built, as I recall, there was like 4 areas: flood control, agriculture, water, and recreation was one of the ones. And over a period of time, it appears that Monterey County's kind of forgot about the recreation side of this.
Lake Nacimiento, San Antonio, and even Santa Margarita down in San Luis Obispo County are all reservoirs that hold, then release the water that supplies most of our local farms. When the water is released, it flows south to north down the Salinas River and replenishes the basin beneath the Salinas Valley.
Once you get below like 24%, it really starts to affect all of the recreation in Oak Shores. Our ramps start to go away, our boat docks start going on, sitting on the dirt. An example is this year we started out with 41%, and if you look now we're at 9%, but we were down at in the teens by July. What we asked was, why do you need to drain the lake in April, May, and June? And then all of a sudden in July you don't have any more water. We're saying is, why don't you start in June, July, and August, and then it's kind of pretty much by September, summer's for all intents and purposes over as far as Labor Day, and if we're down at that teen area, well, so be it, because it's been a lean rain year. So hopefully we'll get some kind of compromise. I know there's a lawsuit. The residents in the county of San Luis Obispo and around the lake, that's pretty much saying, that's what we'd like to see if we couldn't come up with some kind of a compromise. I think it's going to take a judge to basically say yes or no, that's not an unreasonable request, or no, you don't have a right to.
I asked Mark and Randy to give their opinion on how the low water levels affect the locals and the visitors around Lake Nacimiento.
Obviously, you can't launch a boat here. It's a lake community. A lot of people like to come out here. There's a lot of boats out here. Well, normally we do all the code enforcement does all the mussel inspections for all the boats that launch from here. And since the lake's so low and you can't launch, we don't do that anymore.
When the lake gets drained like this, it affects the local businesses around. I mean, people that would normally come up here and travel to come to the lake, they buy groceries, they buy gasoline. So if they're not coming here, that's not happening. So whether they want to realize that the tax base in San Luis Obispo County is being affected, it really is. So.
Conversations on Lake Nacimiento's water management crisis are still ongoing. Nacimiento Regional Water Management Advisory Committee are still fighting in court to try and take back the loss of property. For more information on the water management issue, please visit nrwmac.org.